Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Friday Manthan, an exciting event that's happening every Friday by EduFam International Academy, UAE. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the another insightful edition of Friday Manthan, Global Learning and Leadership Dialogue, an initiative of EduFam International Academy, UAE, where we come together to think, to learn, to collaborate, and act for a sustainable future. I am Dr. Halima Sadia, your host for today's session. On behalf of EduFam International Academy, I extend a heartfelt welcome to our distinguished speakers, respected guests, educators, researchers, environmental professionals, entrepreneurs, students, and participants joining us from different parts of the world. Today's discussion focuses on one of the most urgent yet often overlooked environmental challenge. Any guesses? Yes, textile waste management. Every year, millions of tons of textile end up in landfills. Fast fashion, excessive consumption, and poor recycling practices have made the textile industry one of the world's largest contributors to pollution. Every discarded garment carries hidden cost: water, energy, chemicals, and human efforts. However, every challenge also presents an opportunity through innovation, research, sustainable production, circular economy practices, and responsible consumption choices. Ladies and gentlemen, today our experts will help us understand the challenges, showcase innovative solutions, and inspire us to become solutions and inspires us to become responsible citizens committed for sustainability. So let's give a big round of applause to our today's resource persons, Dr. Balakrishnan ji, Mohammad Rehan Ansari, and Mr. Jeevan Menon. It's my honor to introduce Dr. Ramesh Balakrishnan ji first. Dr. Ramesh Balakrishnan ji, a distinguished sustainability expert, researcher, and he is an academic expert. He has made significant contributions to the sustainability, research, and environmental innovation. His expertise helps us making this event a meaningful and insightful event. Today, he will be speaking on textile waste management, challenges in research and innovation. So ladies and gentlemen, let us know more about Dr. Balakrishnan ji in his own words. He is a professor at Ramaiah College, Bangalore, and it's an honor for us to welcome him in this show as the first speaker on Friday Manthan. So give a big round of applause. Hello, doctor.
Thank
How are
you.
you?
I'm doing great, Dr. Halima. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm good. And thank you very much for accepting our invitation. This is our live program where the people around the globe, they watch this program and they become the part of this movement, that is sustainability movement. And unfortunately, when we talk about sustainability, most of the people think that it is about environment, although we all know it that it is not just environment.
Environment.
It has bigger picture. So first of all, let me know about you, because our viewers must be very keen to know about you, your achievements, your contributions before we go into your presentation. Thank you very much. Please go
Thank
ahead,
you.
Dr. Balakrishnan ji.
First of all, thank you for your invitation. It is a great pleasure for me to joining with you all. I'm Dr. Balakrishnan, Assistant Professor from Ramaiah University of Applied Science, Bangalore. I'm basically a hospitality graduate. I have completed my UG, PG, and PhD in hotel management stream. So I have almost 15 years of my experience. In that, 8 years I was in industry in different properties, stock hotels, also in resorts, restaurants as an operations manager. Now, currently, last 8 years, I'm associated with academics as an assistant professor. So I'm dealing with hospitality subjects moreover. Even today, my entire topic is going to make you to travel inside my hotel. So that makes you have more of clarity into it. So shall I begin with my presentation?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. And it's an honor to have you here. And please proceed with the presentation.
Is this visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So, one second. So, good evening, respected moderators, distinguished speakers, esteemed guests, and participants from around the world. So, before I get into my slides, so let me begin with one simple question. What happened to a towel after its final guest use? I'll repeat once again. What happens to a towel after its final guest use?
It goes to the,
Most
I
of
think,
us,
washing. It goes to the washing, then again it is used by another guest.
yes, most of us must say it becomes waste, but still you have a different answer. Thank you for it. But how many of us know a towel carries the following resources: the fiber, water, energy, labor, and the money. These are the resources which is involved behind the towel. So there are already that are already invested before it reaches the hotel. But when we throw it away, the towel, the particular product, right? So we may also be throwing away its remaining value into it. So on which I choose this title in front of you, what you are seeing on my screen, from linen to leadership. So in exploring textile waste management through the lens of the hospitality industry. Since I'm from hospitality background, I have seen on daily basis. Also, I'm teaching my students on sustainability basis. I want you to take a small journey with me in this entire topic. So we move to the next screen. Okay. When we talk about waste in hospitality, so we usually think of food, plastic, or water. Am I right? But textile waste is another hidden stream, but no one aware of it. Hotels use enormous amount of textiles today, but I just want to list out a few: bed linens, towels, uniforms, table linen, curtains, carpets, and upholstery. So these are the textiles with a huge amount we are using in our hospitality industry. But these are not just materials as an end user to use it. Each carries an embedded cost within, as said earlier, fiber, water, energy, labor, and money are involved in it. But discarding a towel not meant we are losing a towel, but also we resources spent on that product to produce. Just think about the product that you produce, to transport, to purchase, or the washing, as ma'am said, like to purchase, washing, and maintain it completely. It's a big complication, but these are the things are involved behind it. So this gives hotel a unique opportunity to lead in textile circularity by controlling of all these procurements, storage, use, and periodic washing. We can preserve the value before textiles getting into the waste. So the real question is not something like how much waste do we generate, but how much value can we preserve through the textile journey in a hotel. That's what I completely want to come say here. So I'll take it to the next slide. So here I'm going to take a short and detailed journey inside a hotel property, how the textile is moving forward. So every textile item passes through multiple stages, okay, from procurement to the final disposable. So you can see the real value is lost at every gap in this chain of process. So every textile item inside a hotel has a journey. Especially it begins with a supplier, followed by procurement, and the textile steps into the hotel. After that, the textile steps into the hotel. Later, if you could see, those textiles are supplied for guest use, that is for our purpose as an end user. But post usage, we are collected for the laundry. Sometimes it may require repair because of usage and may be reused. Also, it may be repurposed or donated to the people. So it can be recycled, and finally, it may reach the disposable stage. But here is an important point we need to note. Waste is not created only at the final disposable stage. Sorry. Value can be lost at every stage, as I said. So you have seen the entire cycle, right? So we may purchase poor quality textile sometimes, or we may purchase more than what we actually needed, or we may store textiles incorrectly in a storage space, in a given storage space for the people. or maybe the chances of damaging them through poor handling into it. So in this, we may use inappropriate laundry process also. So concluding of all the stuff, when we look at the textile journey, I want to ask one important question to you all. At which stage are we losing the most value? You have seen number of stages here, a number of process what we have come across, but which stage we are losing the most value? Because if we can identify it, where value is being lost, or we can also identify where improvement is possible in this. So a circular approach does not until the end of the journey. So I'll repeat this particular statement. A circular approach does not wait until the end of the journey. It begins at the beginning with the procurement process, operational perspective, and the decision and the daily decision makings. So hereby I want to make this point to you all. Within the hotel, one department is particularly important in this entire journey is what? Housekeeping. Hope you have got a clear idea about this particular chain of process inside the hotel. So here, if you see, the last slide I told I was end up with a word called housekeeping, right? Wherever, when we heard the word housekeeping, they often think about cleanliness. Am I right? Usually people think about cleanliness is what the housekeeping job, but cleaning rooms, making a bed or cleaning a bathroom or replacing a towels, it's all part of it. But housekeeping is much more than cleaning. I have to make this statement very bold. Housekeeping is much more than cleaning. It is also a resource management. And the department manages textile inventory to manage stocks level and circulation process. It also influences laundry process and helps prevent damaging from the repairing stage. And it can directly influence how long a textile remains in the service. So I would like to I would like to share one important perspective here. The linen room is not just a storage room. Hope everybody aware of. Everyone's home we have a linen room, right? We could call it as cupboard or maybe call it as something, but it's not a storage room. It is a resource bank for us. Every sheet inside, every towel we kept there, every pillowcase and uniform represents an operational asset for that. So there are a few questions that we should ask ourselves before we step into the next. How many items do we have? First of all, on base of textile context, and how many are in circulation? Post that, how many are get damaged and why are they get damaged? How many can be repaired and remain in service? So these questions should strike in your mind before we get into the next. So these are the not only housekeeping questions related, actually speaking, but only focus on cost management, asset management, and sustainability point of it. And I would say this: the best sustainable textile is not always a textile marketed as green. So the best sustainable textile is not always a textile that marketed as green. Sometimes it is simply the textile we keep in service no longer. Sometimes extending the life of a textile is one of the most practical form of sustainability. So everybody will accept on this statement, I believe. So when the textile reaches the end of its original purpose, what choices do we have? Let's think of it. Here, excuse me. When we talk about textile waste management, many people immediately thinking about recycling. The 3 R's comes in the mind, right? Everyone reduce, reuse, recycling, all the stuff. But here, recycling should not always be our first answer in textile waste management concept. The first question should be like, can we able to avoid creating the waste in the first place? Can we able to avoid creating the waste in the first place? This is where the 5 R's of textile value management become very important. The first one, what I have mentioned, is the reduce, that everybody knows. Make your purchases and consumptions responsible in this area. That's very important. Where the purchase according to actual operations requirements for the daily purpose or as per your requirements. Second is a reuse. When you talk about the reuse, extending the original life of the textile wherever possible, that is very important. And third, repair. And we should not thinking a small tear should not automatically mean the end of a textile life, right? Obviously, when we Yet when we see some small tears or stains on the textile, we thought it's okay, the life got over for that particular textile, particular linen or maybe a particular cloth. It's not like that. And in the fourth, if you see repurpose, something I've added new repurpose. Why? Ensuring you create a new use of that particular textile. Example, an old towel can become a cleaning cloth. Everybody aware of it, right? An old towel of your home or maybe whatever that we using as of now can, once it's been thrown, can be a cleaning cloth. The second thing, a bed sheet. A bed sheet, what we are using on daily life for the bed before we sleep, right? That can be a laundry bag, can become a laundry bag, and a curtain can become a decorative or operational item for us. So when to come to final stage of recycle of my slide, the textile can no longer be reused or repaired or repurposed. We recover the material value of it. So what we are doing finally, we are recovering the material value for it. So the guiding question is not simply uh, it's not simply something asking on it. Can we recycle this? That is the question that always pricks our mind. Can we recycle this or what we're using it? Yeah, the better way of asking this is, what is the highest value next use of this textile? That is, I'm using a towel, I've thrown it out. Now, what is the highest value next use of this textile? This is the mindset shift we need to have. We should not immediately ask the people or ask ourselves where we can dispose of this. Instead of that, we should ask like, what can this become next? Transition. That's called transition, we call, right? So this change in thinking moves hospitality from a linear model towards a circular model. So for just what I've shown is a linear model, so that we need to put it into a circular model, that is in a rotating point of it. Okay. Traditionally, many organizations, I think, following a very simple old model, mostly, I think so. Purchases of textiles based on the requirement, use it as much as possible, and finally dispose of it. But this is not, this is a linear model. That is what I'm calling this as a linear model. Purchasing something, making use of that particular product, and disposing it at the final stage. But actually speaking, it is a wasteful, costly, and intensive. Resource intensive. So it is a wasteful, costly, and resource intensive point of it we have to think. Do you know a circular model asks us to think differently always? It's not like a linear model. Why? A purchase, I have just mentioned the three important words there. You can take a note: purchase, use, and extend. Here, if you do not down the important thing, we recover and we recycle it. Am I right? We recover and we recycle it actually. So the objective is to keep the textile and its value in use for as long as possible. Maybe it's already reflected in several industry practices, I think so. But listing out a few of your for your awareness, hotels have started to explore linen donation programs, because recently then Oberoi and Hyatt, they have started in Bangalore hotels. I have noticed this actually when I went there. They started to do the donation initiatives. So what all that? Textile recovery partnerships, uniform recycling initiatives, sustainable procurement policies, more efficiently laundry operations, and digital textile tracking systems. I'll just come to this point later, because we are using some tracking system for our respective textiles. The important point is that sustainability is not one single activity at all, which we should keep it in our mind very clearly. It is a system. It is completely a system that begins with the procurement. As I told you earlier, it begins with the procurement and continues through operations, and it includes maintenance and the recovery of that. So why it should be measurable, right? See, whatever we are doing on the ground line should be measurable and should be acceptable and can be implementable at the final stage. So because if we cannot trace the textile journey, obviously it becomes difficult to manage that journey effectively. So I would like to add a note here. Systems alone are not enough to manage this. Systems, what we have created or what we have is alone is not to manage this. We also need people who understand how to manage them. So we should have an efficient and effective and trained people to know how to manage this waste management, especially in the textile point of it. Fine. This is something interesting. As an educator, this is particularly important to me. We cannot expect future professionals to create circular hotels. Am I right? If we teach them only through linear thinking, as I told you earlier. So sustainability must enter the classroom. It must be a part of practical training. Okay, so it's not something like a theoretical base. It should be on a practical training on daily basis. Should be integrated in the curriculum, and it must become a part of everyday hospitality education. Future hospitality professionals need to understand sustainable housekeeping is all about green procurement. I highlight this particular one. Textile life cycle management. So we have been seeing textile waste management, how to procure that, what are the basic things to be look into that. But here, textile life cycle management, waste auditing, and ESG. ESG is what environmental, social, and governance awareness is very much needed in today's society, especially in students' perspective, who doesn't know the value of money or doesn't know the value of what they are procuring and been thrown out just like that should be trained in a way that they should also aware of sustainability. Because I believe education must move beyond the theory. That is what I'm implementing in my daily classes of what I can do the maximum to avoid all those waste, not only in textile point of it, even in the other context. But so that students should not only learn the definition of circular economy, I can say they should also be able to enter a linen room and ask themselves, what is our inventory today? What is in circulation as of now, and what is damaged, and what can be repaired or reused or repurposed, and finally needs to be recycled. So these questions will prick their mind when they start enter into the linen room and start questioning themselves. This is why I believe in the moment of theory to practice always. In that, I have highlighted in the bottom of the slide: observe first, audit that, decide, take a position of deciding that, and act accordingly. So, and if you could see that technology can make this learning even more powerful, definitely through simulations like artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and virtual reality. So in this context, in this statement, I want to tell you, students can practice sustainable decision making over there. But because ultimately, if you see, we should not only teach sustainability as part. In my opinion, we should also allow learners to practice sustainability in their daily life. That's make them create awareness on top of it. And once we begin combining sustainability with technology, textile management become even more intelligent, I believe. So here in this slide, I have to highlight a technology point of waste management. It's an important role in smart textile management nowadays. But I want to make one distinction very clear to you all. Technology does not automatically make a hotel sustainable. Technology makes sustainability more visible, traceable, and measurable. I'll repeat this. Technology is not make something sustainability more visible, traceable, and measurable. If you notice RFID, I told you in the previous slides, right? That traceable, yeah. That so how we are tracing it through RFID and QR codes can help tracking textile movement. Even in the laundry process of our hotel industry, whatever that you are using and dropping into your respective laundries, we used to tag with RFID and QR codes. That is helpful for them to track on it of how many linens has come for the day and how much get wasted in the daily basis. So the AI again, artificial intelligence and predictive analytics can help forecast replacement needs definitely on this perspective. So smart laundry systems can also help optimize the use of water and energy, but in point of AR and VR simulations can train staff without consuming your physical resources. So imagine being able to understand the journey of a textile. When was it purchased? How many times has it been washed, or how many repairs has it undergone during the process, or when it is where it is currently located when after we dropped into the particular laundry or linen room, and what should happen to it next. These are the questions which always pricks and to be asked ourselves to move forward. So this is where we move from simple inventory management to intelligent textile management. So the model I see for the future here is human expertise plus digital intelligence. So this is what I want to combine here: human expertise plus digital intelligence. Technology should not replace the housekeeper. Everybody have a thought that technology will replace human being. No, it is supporting for your productivity. It makes you to give more of awareness and more of presence of wherever you are, and that cannot be replaced anybody. So you should support the housekeeper in making a better decisions out of it. And the journey is simple, traceable, and the journey is very simple here. The traceability leads to visibility. The visibility leads to better decisions. So let me conclude the practical part of this presentation with the 7 actions that hotels can begin implementing this process. I don't know how many hoteliers have been joined here, but to be frank, this particular practical presentations will help them to implement in their operations. Firstly, focus on buying quality, not just quantity. I'll repeat, focus on buying your quality, not just a quantity. A textile that lasts longer may create greater value over its entire life cycle. Secondly, we have to train our employees. The existing employees or maybe the one whom you are recruiting, please try to train the employees on regular basis. The way textiles are handled affects the lifespan of the product. And third, measure textiles based on monthly basis. As we all know very well, what gets measured gets managed. Hope everybody accepts the statement. What gets measured gets managed. So in the fourth point, tracking textile lifespan. We also should understand how long our textile remains in service during the process of the textile management. And fifth, repair before replacement. A small defect should not automatically end the life of a useful textile. So we should be very careful with before we make a replacement of anything else. And sixth, partner for donation and recycling. Usually hotels do not have to solve the entire circular economy alone. It's not possible practically, but our partnerships can help us to find the next useful life for your textiles, which is move out from your respective organizations. And finally, embedded sustainability in every SOP. Why? Because here sustainability should not depend on our enthusiastic employee. It should become a part of the system, part of your procurement, part of housekeeping department, and part of your laundry process, and part of everyday training what you're providing to your employees, and part of the management decisions too. Sometimes we may be expert in managing something, but management decisions put us down. So those things also to be taken into consideration, because sustainability is most powerful when it becomes routine. What I have seen in the transition, and that brings me to the central message I would like you to take away today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Balakrishnan ji.
I have one last thing which I want to convey here. Thank you, Dr. Halima. Just a minute. So through this journey, what I want to convey here, from linen to leadership, because leadership is sustainability for everyone, does not always begin with a major investment or a larger project. Sometimes it begins with how we manage one towel. What I have started in the beginning of my slide, same. It begins with one towel, one sheet, one uniform, or one decision. So hereby I have to make a strong statement. Hospitality does not simply serve guests. Hospitality serves the future. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. And this is my final slide, which concludes all my insights of whatever I've done in my previous. So just for your overlook. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, it was really a wonderful presentation. And first time I have seen the inside the hospitality, because we always go to the hotel, stay there, enjoy the facilities, enjoy the neat and clean white sheets, white towels, and but we have never observed in this way as you have explained today. Thank you very much, Balakrishnan ji, for presenting such a meaningful presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, we will take the question answers at the end of the session, because our next speaker is already here. We have Dr. Rehan Ansari from Mumbai, who has practically spent his more than 2 decades of life in textile industry, and he is very much aware that how, where, when, and in which way we can reduce the textile wastage and we can manage it effectively. Dr. Rehan Ansari from Mumbai, over to you. The virtual stage is yours.
First of all, Dr. Halima, I'm not a doctor. I'm aspiring PhD, and definitely, if you said Dr. Rehan, so definitely I will become that. Thank you so much. Second thing, I would like to say thanks to Dr. Balakrishnan for such an insightful session. You made our day, and for me, You already explained about the topic very well. Thank you so much for that. You made my work easy. And so today I'm not going to share any presentation. I would like to deliver my talk on the topic, and in between I will ask few questions, and definitely I will need your attention. If you don't want to talk, you can write in the chat box. All right. So let us start. Before we dive in, let me ask you, how many of you wear clothes made up of cotton or polyester? Very common question.
Pardon, please, once again.
All right.
Yes.
Let me repeat once again. How many of you are wearing clothes made up of cotton or polyester right now?
More of cotton.
Almost everyone.
Either cotton or polyester.
Yeah,
Only three
that's the
textiles.
reality. Textiles are everywhere. And so, textile waste also. All right. So the challenges. Let us start with the challenges. Textile waste is one of the fastest growing waste stream globally. Overproduction. Fast fashion brands like Zara and H&M release new collections every few weeks, creating excess inventory. All right. So studies show clothes are discarded after just 7 to 10 weeks. A trendy t-shirt bought for 500 rupees often ends up in landfill within months. Recycling limitations. Okay, let us talk about that. Cotton polyester blends are difficult to separate because polyester is man-made fiber kind of thing, and as we all know, cotton can be discarded easily. All right. So a pair of jeans with 2% elastane cannot be recycled easily. Environmental impact. What happens? In India alone, millions of tons of textile waste ends up in landfill annually, releasing methane and microplastics. All right. So, a quick question. How many of you have donated or recycled clothes in the past year? No, no one. I don't think so.
I used to. For all my
Oh, very good.
occasions,
Thank you
usually
so much,
occasions go
sir.
for orphanages, but for my birthdays, my anniversaries, I used to offer that.
Great, great, great. Now, the exciting part, innovations that are changing the game. Circular fashion, as Dr. Balakrishnan already talked about. I'm not going into that. Patagonia's one wear program repairs and resells used garments. All right. Smart recycling tech companies like One Again Technologies use chemical recycling to break down polyester into reusable raw material. All right. Biodegradable fabrics, designers are experimenting with banana fiber sarees in India and mushroom leather jackets in Europe. All right. So very interesting. So digital platforms, how it plays in the sustainability. Let us talk about that. Apps like Rent the Runway allow people to rent clothes for special occasions instead of buying. So you can rent the clothes. Can you imagine that? So the question comes like, how can I wear someone else fabric? I take rented fabric, and how can I wear that? All right. So make sure that nowadays world is too fast. Like if you are scared, how can I wear someone else fabric? So fabrics are also, you can treat it antimicrobial. You know, there are some antimicrobial fabrics are still available in the market. You can search for that, and those who are dealing with the hotel industries or kind of rental clothes, they can make antimicrobial fabric for people to to avoid any infection. So let us talk about sustainable solutions. So what can we do effectively? Extended producer responsibility. Levi's offers recycling bins in stores, all right, where customers can drop old jeans, consumer, consumer awareness campaigns like Fashion Revolution encourage people to ask, brands who made my clothes. Government policies. The Europe has mandated textile recycling targets by 2030. Community initiatives. What can we do? In Mumbai, NGOs run thrift shops where donated clothes are sold at low prices. You can sell your used cloth as well. It is possible in Mumbai. All right. Re Reducing waste and supporting local communities. If you don't want to sell your fabric, at least donate it to the needy people. There are a lot of people you can find near to your place. All right. So now think of one small change you can make, maybe repairing instead of discarding, or buying fewer but better quality clothes. All right. So what is the best practice as a common person we can adopt? Can you write in the chat box? Okay. All right. Textile waste is a challenge, but also it's an opportunity. With innovation, collaboration, and conscious choices, we can transform the industry into sustainable powerhouse. All right. I will leave you with the thought: every thread we save today views a cleaner tomorrow. How interesting it is. All right. Thank you. And look forward for your questions and ideas. All right. So if you are looking for sustainable solution in the textile industry, I'm the expert. At present, I'm dealing with the textile wet processing. If you are looking for special finishes on your fabric, how it is done, what are the chemicals used, and how can you take care of environment in that? Either it is dyeing, it is finishing, or you can name it, like if you need the luster in your fabric, softness, or waterproof. Many special finishes I know very well. I'm into this field around 12 plus years. So if you have any query related to this, that's the reason I couldn't share any PowerPoint presentation, because I'm the subject matter expert, right? And once again, thank you so much, Dr. Halima ma'am. You called me Dr. Rehan. Definitely, I will become Dr. Rehan very soon. All right. Nice to hear that, ma'am.
Thank
Over
you,
to you.
Dr. Rehan, for such an interesting, insightful, and practical knowledge about textile industry. And I was touched by your sentence that every thread that we save is going to make our future greener and heal this world, heal this planet. Thank you very much for sharing your personal experiences. Of course, you are going to be a doctor. You are such a young person having 12 years of experience. Is still a long way to go, miles to go before I sleep. Robert Frost has very rightly said that woods are lovely, dark, and deep. I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. So yes, of course, you are going to be a doctor in near future, inshallah. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we have our third and the last speaker for this evening. And that speaker has something very unique to share with us. And that story has inspired me in such a way that I was very, very excited to listen to his story. Let me invite Mr. Jeevan Menon from United Arab Emirates. Yes, Mr. Jeevan Menon, over to you, please.
Thank you, Dr. Halima and Dr. Balakrishnan. That was a very insightful topic that you shared your views on. Rehan, thank you for adding your expertise also into it. My name is Jeevan. For those of you who don't know me, I've been in the corporate world for almost 21 years. And just last year, I decided to leave it for the love and well-being of my dog, Scotch. It was one of the toughest things to do in life, but I found a purpose because in the region, we started the region's first pet and human friendly candle business because of my dog, Scotch. Without him, this business would not even flourish. This is the only business in the Middle East, candle business in the Middle East, which supports sustainability, recycling, and repurposing of used candle jars. Our whole idea came into place when we came to know that the common things that we use at home, such as our agarbatti, dhoop, candles, air fresheners, diffusers, they actually release toxins in the air which are harmful for you, your family, and your children and your pets. This can cause breathing issues. It can lead to, let's say, asthma. It can even lead to headaches, allergies, and in long term usage, even cancer. So we decided to stop buying all these and look at alternatives. So what started off as a home project, just us making it for ourselves, our friends came to know about it, their friends came to know about it, word started to spread, and next thing you know, it's an accidental business. We're about 1 year old, but we've done 35,000 candles just word of mouth. Now, how do we make our candles, and what makes it non-toxic, chemical-free, and eco-friendly and sustainable? Number one, most of the candles that are made in the market, for example, all of you must be having a candle which looks like this, the Bath and Body Works. They're made using paraffin wax and synthetic oils. Now, these are the ones which release toxins into the air. What we do is something very simple. We use organic soy wax and cold press infused oils. What do you mean by cold press infused oils? Has anyone heard this term? So,
No.
cold press infused oils is basically our almond oil or organic coconut oil that you get in plenty. You mix it with anything you want. For example, I want to create an orange scent. So what do? We use the orange peels which are discarded in the fruit juice shops or restaurants. We actually take those. We mix those orange peel with the coconut oil. We boil it for a certain period of time, and then we keep it to rest for 2 weeks in the dark. What you get as a result is non-toxic, chemical-free, organic, cold press infused orange oil. Same thing goes with, let's say, for example, if you're doing flowers or any other concept that you want to create an oil, all you need to do is use the waste which people discard. Go to the temples, collect the flowers from there, dry the flowers, and reuse it, repurpose it. And that's our way of ensuring that people burn candles which are safe for them and their family. You'll be very surprised of the amount of waste that actually people are not even aware that that adds to the landfill every single day. Um, be it hotels, be it hospitals, be it restaurants, the amount of food and waste that is discarded from these places ends up in landfill. And because of that, you have a lot of airborne diseases happening. You have a lot of, let's say, pollution happening. And people don't realize that their small actions can make a difference. Be it separating your wet waste and your dry waste, be it recycling certain products. And the idea of recycling actually came when I went to one of my friend's house. I noticed in her home there were so many of these empty jars, all these empty candle jars or gifts that she'd received. And I asked her, "What are you going to do with all these?" She said, "I'm going to throw it away. I don't have space in my house. I don't see any use of it. I'm going to throw it away." So, what we decided to do is we told her, just give us all those jars. Let us recycle it, refill it, and let's reuse it. So, we created scents for her the way she wanted it. So, for example, she was suffering from asthma. So, we used our non toxic organic oils to create scents for her such that she doesn't suffer from any breathing issues. We used another candle for someone else who was allergic to, let's say, floral scents. We created something else for her. Like that, we are the only ones in the Middle East who customize candles according to your needs, ensuring that you can burn it safely at your home, knowing that no one will be affected. Now, in today's world, how many of you practice what you preach? We talk a lot about all these things, but how many of you have actually seen this in place? And this is something that we are proud to say that we have repeat customers doing the same thing. Everyone asks, what is in it for me? Why should I recycle? Why should I promote sustainability? So what we tell all our customers is, or all our supporters is, once you buy a candle jar from us, you're building a relationship with us. It's not a one-time buy that you do. It's something that you're going to keep coming back to us, because every time you come back to us, we would reduce the price of the jar for you. Let's say, for example, you bought a jar in India for 100 rupees. All right. Now you finish using it and you're going to come back to me and tell me, listen, I want a refill. Now the cost of the jar may be only 20 rupees. So what we'll do is we'll fill it up for you for 80 rupees. So you save 20 rupees in your pocket, which you can use. So every time you do that, that encourages you to keep coming back to us again and again, because there's no one else who's doing that. So this is our way of saying, you know what, let's promote sustainability in this way. How you can be creative. Everyone has talents, everyone has ideas. Once you get a community, or you build a community of people who are conscious about it and see the bright side of waste, trust me, they are going to promote this safe practice to their friends. They may start first with their family, then they'll move it on to their friends. And this is how, you can position yourself as a leader of change in today's environmentally, uh, let's say, conscious community that people are building by themselves. Um, the reach is very important. Right now, you may be in small circles, but if you can create impact with the small circles and start promoting this to others, you can have a big circular community, or a group of people who champion this cause, and this could actually benefit the economy and your society. So just start with your closest friends, start with the people who matter to you, and tell them what are the harmful side effects of the things that you use, switch to alternatives, and look at opportunities how you can repurpose simple waste that you see. For example, if we were to see even twigs lying down on the floor, which people just throw or discard away, we use them. Stones lying down, polish them, give it a good shine, and trust me, they become really good decorative pieces. There's so many things you can do. It's all about, taking that first step of asking yourself, what can I do with this? And that way you reduce your usage of the waste, which in turn, in the long run, will even reduce the landfill, which causes pollution and all other airborne diseases. So, my 10 cents that I can ask everyone to do is start asking yourself, what are the things that you're using at home that are safe for you? If it's safe for you, then use it wisely. If you can repurpose it or recycle it, please go ahead. They say that one man's trash is another man's treasure. At Scotchie Scandals, we believe that one man's trash is another person's family treasure, because we are actually turning waste into warmth, pollution into peace, and garbage into gratitude. So the next time you light your candle, ask yourself, is this safe for my family? If the answer is no, it's time to switch to the bright side. So that's my 10 cents.
Thank you very much. It was really lovely to listen to you. And I liked your dialogue that see the brighter side of the waste. I think nobody has thought about this, the brighter side of waste, and how you have made the useful items out of the waste materials. And maximum what people do is that recently I was also having this activity in my school, and the children were asked to make something out of the waste material. What they do is maximum they just want to make any decorative items or any pen holder or anything like that. So your ideas are so innovative that they can be turned into the usable items. That really going to help us if it is reused, and after recycling it is reused. So thank you very much, Mr. Jeevan, for sharing such beautiful ideas with us, and thank you, Dr. Balakrishnan ji. We have Nageshwara ji with us. Nageshwara ji, if you have any questions, you are most welcome, because we already exceeded our time. So if there is no questions, then we'll move ahead with our concluding remarks. And yes, Nageshwara ji, how are you? Namaskar. Welcome to the show. Do you have any questions? Our experts are here. Please unmute yourself. Nageshwara ji is an educationist and a principal of a school. Please unmute, sir. You are muted, sir. Please unmute yourself. I think he is not able to listen to me. Achha, okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. He is not able
The
to.
permission is not granted.
Yes. Oh,
It usually happens in Zoom calls.
No, it's muted. Muted by the host. That's the reason.
Yes.
I got it, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, all of you. Very
Good
interesting
evening.
today from all three of you. Can I have the phone number or email from all three participants so that it is useful and we can use in our school?
Of course. I'll share their phone numbers and their email IDs as well with you. And
if they don't have objection. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for sparing your valuable time and being here on this platform. There are so many questions related to the subject. You are the experts of this, but due to the limitation of time, because live shows always have some limitations, we cannot go beyond that. That's why we are going to conclude this. And but one punching line I request from both of you to give to us that can be remembered throughout the week till we meet next Friday on another exciting topic. Yes, Dr. Balakrishnan ji, one punching line, one last message from this platform.
Maybe my key message is like sustainability begins with everyday operational decisions. So as I told you previously, a towel or a bedsheet or uniform, whatever it may be, it represents the valuable resources such as water, energy, labor, and money. So make use of it in a proper way and carry the sustainability in all your days.
Wonderful. Yes, Jeevan, Mr. Jeevan.
No, my thing would be use products that are made with love and safe for all.
Thank you. Wonderful. And Nageshwara ji has already taken your phone details and contact details, and he is going to make the best decisions in his own school so that the children can be made aware.
My one-line statement is think before buying anything.
Yes.
Pardon, will you please repeat?
Think before you buy.
Before buying anything.
Keep away yourself from buying anything.
Think before you. Think before you buy anything.
Yes. Think before you buying anything. And I will end on the dialogue that was given by Jeevan Menon, and I liked it very much. See the brighter side of the waste. Your waste is someone's treasure. And try to avail that treasure, make that treasure for yourself, and be healthy, wealthy, rich, and beautiful in this world. Make the world a beautiful place to live in. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And
thank you
from EduFam International Academy, UAE. See you next week on Friday at the same time with another burning topic. Thank you.
Thank you.